Welcome to rounds 11 and 12 of the Tegiwa Civic Cup from the Snetterton 300 circuit. With just 4 races left to go, the championship is at a crucial stage with honours in both the 2 litre and 1.6 litre divisions still up for grabs. The decisive action is coming up in just a moment. So I've got Ollie Withington with me, and Ollie, it's really good to see you here at Snetterton after what happened at Silverstone. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm pleased to be back. Ultimately, I got it wrong. I was pushing far too hard in the wet, but that's due to lack of experience. And I made a mistake, and then subsequently so did Mr. Webster, and he came into the back of me, and that was the end of the meeting. But I've learnt a lot from it. You know, I can't necessarily go as fast in the wet as what I'd like to, and the car's now repaired. The lads have done a great job, and it auto works, and my brother have helped out. So yeah, we're back running again. Happy to be back.
Mark Anderson's with me now. The Class A Championship in the Civic Cup's going to go right down to the wire. You're part of it, Mark, but you really can't afford another non-finish, can you?
No, definitely not. I've had a bit of bad luck at Brands, and then again at Anglesey with a fuel pump issue. So we did all right at Silverstone, hoping for the same again this weekend and carry on to the end of the season.
Cars onto the grid then for this first race of the day. On pole position it's Adam Shepherd, and alongside him is Endaf Owens. Row 2, the championship leader from Class B, Carl Swift, and next to him making his debut in the championship, the former Stock Cats champion Tom Bell. Mark Higginson in the first of the FN2s amidst the EP3s, he's on row 3. Alongside him is Sam Hathaway. Class A headed by Mark Anderson from Chris Coomer and David Bucey. The red lights go on, and out they go for 13 minutes plus 1 lap of racing in the Tegiwa Civic Cup. Great sight these cars make. There's 27 of them on the grid this weekend. It's a packed field as they head up towards Rich's Corner for the first time. It's side by side. All but a mistake there by Carl Swift, a thought on the inside line there. And someone going wide. Oh, and there's several cars off, in fact, and one of them is Swift, one of them is Roger and Vella with some front-end damage, and I think Tom Bell has also been involved in that as well, so the 2 Stock Cats drivers involved. This is a replay from on board with Roger and Vella then. Now he started on row 4 of the grid. Here he is getting alongside the 54 car of Tom Bell, who didn't get the best of starts. Around the outside he goes. Up front Carl Swift got it sideways. I think Bell took avoiding action. Swift came back across the circuit. Those collided. Vella was also involved. And some heavy damage there, I'm afraid to say, for 3 cars, including that of the championship leader, Carl Swift. So they make their way down towards Agostini. That's so a moment, and it's tagged number 12, Mark Anderson, the Class A championship leader. Well, that moment was for James Griffiths, I think, but Anderson has picked up damage there. Now that could be crucial because he really could not afford a drop score this weekend. This is the onboard view from Stu Neal's car. Anderson up ahead of us, and from nowhere backwards comes James Griffith. Harpoons the car of Mark Anderson, and within the first few corners of this race, the 2 respective real championship contenders, Mark Anderson and Carl Swift, both of them seemingly eliminated. And that's going to blow things wide open. Now in the Civic Cup it's just 1 drop score, 1 race out of the 14 that you can drop, and that means that there's a race against time to get those cars back on the grid for race 2. In the meantime it's Adam Shepherd that leads the race, heading down towards the bomb hole for the first time. So Shepherd, who has been no stranger to the podium this season, he's already had 7 top 3 finishes out of the 10 races that we've had so far, including 1 victory so far this season. This is first season of car racing as well. There's the 44 car of Mark Higginson. His brother Matt has been successful in RGB in the past couple of seasons, but Mark in his own right now establishing himself as a front runner in the Civics. He's had 3 podiums so far this year, including a win. That was at Anglesey a little while back. Cars coming down towards us in Class A, including Tim Evans and David Bucey. It's Bucey that we go on board with now, number 51. So Bucey actually leads the championship in Class A for the 1.6 litre cars coming into this weekend, but it's so tight. 4 drivers separated by 4 points basically coming into this weekend. So I'm making a mistake up ahead, and that's Tim Evans actually that's going wide. And Bucey goes through there, but Bucey, Andrew Huff, Mark Anderson, who has been eliminated, and I interrupt myself there because there's a moment for number 53, which is Rob Howard, isn't it? Rob, the mini racer in his first time in the Civic Cup, he has a moment there at Palmer. The other driver, Tim Evans, in Class A. Those 4 all in with a good chance of taking the Class A Championship at the end of the season. Yellow flags at Hamilton, so someone has gone off the circuit. It's rather languidly waved, as if the car is actually well out of the way of trouble. So that's 44 Higginson, with behind him number 18 Sam Hathaway. Good to see this onboard shot as we now make our way down the Bentley Straight towards the vehicle bridge at Brundle. And it's Mark Higginson being attacked now by Hathaway. Comes to nothing though as they turn their way through the right-hander, so it's still Higginson holding on to that position from Hathaway. Also involved as well is number 2 Steve Laidlaw. Steve's been on the podium this season as well at Anglesey. Other drivers who have made the switch from stock catch for this season. Civic Cup has certainly proved itself very popular in its first full year with championship status, attracting drivers from all kinds of different places on the club racing scene. And the Civic is a very attractive car to go racing with, and this is a very attractive championship as well. Some really good racing that we've seen so far in the Civic Cup, as well by the reverse grid format for race 2. So this fight goes on then for third position between Higginson and Hathaway, the 2 H's, and it's Hathaway that's now gone through at Ridge's corner. So the EP3 now ahead of the FN2. Slightly older shaped car is ahead. And Laidlaw involved in all of this as well, as we said, so 3rd, 4th and 5th right together then. So Adam Shepherd that leads from Endaf Owens. They're just a little bit further up the order. This is where the action is though. There's now Sam Hathaway that is pulling out a few car lengths over Mark Higginson in 3rd place. Like Andrew Gorgler there was in 6th. In the yellow car number 14, yes he is. But we have already lost 5 cars from this race. We've lost Vella, Barsby, Mark Anderson, James Griffith, Tom Bell. Actually make that 6 cars. We've lost Carl Swift as well. So 6 cars all eliminated within the first lap or so of the race. Let's hope that many of those will be out for race number 2 a little bit later on. Laidlaw locking up there at Oggies as he tries to essay a move on Mark Higginson. So this is up 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. It's just getting a bit more spread out now. As for the final podium places, those are the 2 leaders. Actually not too far apart, are they? Adam Shepherd and Endaf Owens. But here is the 3rd place car, Sam Hathaway, switched from Mighty Minis for this season, along with his dad Martin, who's a bit further back down the order. But Sam having a strong season really, on his debut in the category. Expect he'll be back for next year. Really aiming at the championship title, but I'm sure that it's going to be even more competitive in 2016 than it's proved in 2015. The title's still very much up for grabs, of course, especially with what's befallen Carl Swift here. His healthy looking 29-point lead coming into this weekend, well that will be eaten away. It's Gorgler going through, and he's actually closed a bit on Laidlaw now. Into the Class A Cup. Oh, and now windscreen wipers on for David Buki. There are 1 or 2 spots of rain you could just see on his windscreen there, so rain is now an added dimension to this race. I'm not sure if it's going to be very much rain, but nevertheless, one more thing for the drivers to think about. He's having to go this way and that, isn't he? To try and find a way past. This is the Matthew Bolton car up ahead of him, and Tim Evans it is in the lead of the class in the sort of gunmetal grey number 23 car. Andrew Huff there in the pistachio coloured Civic, he's 4th within that class. And yet you've now got those 4 cars all together, because it looks like Huff has made it past one of the Class B cars there. Was that Howard? I think it might have been. In the Class B 2 litre machine, the class split is Class A is for the 1.6 litre cars, generally speaking the older machines. Class B is for the 2 litre entrants, the FN2s, the EP3s and so forth. So this, oh, and what's going on with David Buki there? Very strange incident. Straight over the grass, just seemed to lose grip somehow, and went straight on at Agostini, and from, I think, second or third within class, he's dropped right back now. This is on board with David, under braking, just loses it, doesn't he? Under braking, and he's a lucky man, the ex-kart racer, not to have collected anyone or been collected by anyone as he rejoined the circuit. Very odd incident, that one, as we watch third and fourth still at it, and Mark Higginson has done well here to keep this gap pegged to Sam Hathaway. Sam in third place. Certainly his strongest showing to date in the Tegiwa Civic Cup. Great racing that we're seeing both in Class A and Class B this weekend, and as I say, the championship title up for grabs. As far as Class B is concerned, it looks like it's going to be between Swift and Adam Shepherd. Now, Bernard Garley, I'm afraid to say, has had to withdraw from the rest of the season with funding difficulties. The man who was third in the points coming into this weekend, not racing here this weekend, but he is here helping to run cars in the area motorsport team. Anyway, over the line goes the battle for Class A, and that's between Tim Evans and Andrew Huff now. So this is for the lead of the class, side by side. Oh, and he spins around now. Was a slight touch there from that was Martin Hathaway. Both of the cars off on the grass, but Andrew Huff there was battling for the lead of Class A, and now all of a sudden he's back behind David Bucey. So it's Tim Evans leading, Matthew Bolton second within Class A now. Number 39 is Ollie Withington, and great work by, well, actually mainly Ollie's brother, to get this car fixed and back out. Still those spots of rain on the camera lens. Still Mark Higginson trying to find a way past Sam Hathaway here. There are some good overtaking opportunities here at Snetterton. So far Mark's not been able to use them though, as he goes on to the final lap of the race. Hathaway third, Higginson in fourth place still. Shepherd from Owens up front, we remind you. There's Tim Evans, still in the lead of Class A as well. Tim, who's had in all 7 podium finishes from 10 races. Oh, and he's done it! Higginson's gone through at Montreal Hairpin. He slips through on the inside there and takes third place back away from Sam Hathaway. Fastest lap of the race has gone to number 55, Chris Coomer in Class A on a 2-minute 20.17. Adam Shepherd at 2:15.98, so more than 4 seconds faster. So that's the fastest lap within Class B. Now Hathaway has half a lap to try and get past Mark Higginson. He's trying to go around the outside here at Agostini. Well, it's never going to work. There are still more opportunities though, and you suspect that the best one is going to be at Brundle and Nelson. The S's at the end of the Bentley Straight, if Hathaway can stay in the tow of Mark Higginson. Making their way up towards Williams then for the final time. Crucial corner this, because the speed that you carry out of this dictates how much speed you carry down the straight. Now this is back into Class A, so it's Evans from Bolton. There's Chris Coomer now, he's third within Class A there, just ahead of Bucey and Huff. So you've actually got, I think, all 5 Class A cars that are still circulating in Class A. They're all together there, which is quite nice. Well, Hathaway's not been able to use that opportunity at the end of the Bentley Straight, so he's still in 4th place, Laidlaw 5th and Gorgler 6th. So they make their way through the final few corners. Checker flag is already made ready for Adam Shepherd, who takes the win here by, well, quite a margin in the end. We've got to set our calendars to find Endaf Owens, who's going to come home in second. Then further back still is this fight for third place, and it's going to be Higginson that I think just about holds on. Hathaway, is he going to have a go as they come up to the line? He's in the tow, he needs to dive out now if he's going to do it, and he's not going to quite make it. Almost overlapping as they came over the line in 3rd and 4th. 5th place goes to Laidlaw, 6th place goes to Gorgler. Good race that, certainly for 3rd position. Good scrap between Hathaway and Higginson. Here's Tim Evans then, Class A leader. There's Bolton and Chris Coomer as well. It's all 5 cars still together. There's Andrew Huff, who's not far behind Tim Evans, but he finds himself 5th within the class. So checkered flag goes out, and Tim Evans, who was the slowest of the Class A qualifiers, he wins the class. Well done him, and that does his championship hopes the power of good. So let's take a look at the results. First of all, in Class A it was Tim Evans that took the win, but not by a very big margin over Matthew Bolton and Chris Coomer. Crucially though, Mark Anderson, one of the championship contenders, a non-finisher, that effectively drops him out of the title race. In Class B and overall, of course, Adam Shepherd it was that took an 8-second victory over Endaf Owens. 13 seconds back was that battle for third place. Sam Hathaway was fourth, and Steve Laidlaw fifth.
Winner of the first Civic race, Adam Shepherd. Adam, you got a bit of a gap at the beginning and you just pulled it out as the race went on.
Yeah, the was really fast in qualifying, so we knew we had the pace to go. Off the start, I just a bit tentative because we changed the brake pads. I didn't know if they were going to be bedded in, so a bit tentative on the brakes, and then I ended up pushing a bit too hard. Got my head and pulled a gap, and the lap times weren't even particularly quick. But I just because I had such a lead, I thought it's not worth pushing the car. So yeah, it was quite good.
Few spots of rain, did that affect you?
It backed out a little bit. Didn't want to throw it off, but no, it didn't really affect the car, to be fair.
Second in the Civics, Endaf Owens. Endaf, you were not that far behind Adam, but then you managed to pull out a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know, the car felt good in the first few laps. Had a bit of a coming together with, I think it was Carl, on the first corner. We had a good start. Car was good for a few laps, and then it's the trouble at the back. Started stepping out a couple of times, and yeah, he pulled a gap over a couple of laps, and then he just stayed there then, and I just backed out then because we had enough of a lead over third. So
third place in the Civics, Mark Higginson. Mark, you had a good battle for there?
Yeah, I was battling with Sam all race. He took over me early on in the race, and then I managed to catch him back up and retake him. I think it was the last lap, so I'm pretty chuffed with that in the end.
And then reverse grid for the second race. You're going to have to come through quite quickly.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be 7th maybe, so I'll try and pick my way through. We'll see what happens. It's always carnage in the last race.
The winner of the Class A in the Civics, Tim Evans. Tim, lots of overtaking to do there.
Lots of overtaking. I mean, I was quite well down. I think possibly last in class in qualifying. I made a right hash of quali. Anyway, I thought, let's see where we go. Right place, right time, I think, was that race. I mean, there was a lot of people going off, a bit of damage here and there, and I just sort of picked my way through. But very good race. Probably, like I said, the best race I've had for a long, long time. Good.
The reverse grid for race 2 always adds spice to the Civic Cup weekend, so it's Carl Swan, Rob Howard, Stu Neal and Ollie Withington filling the first 4 place on the grid, but non-starters are Mark Anderson, Oliver Barsby, Tom Bell, James Griffith and John Peerless. Rodden Vella goes right at the back as the lights go out and the race gets underway, so the Maltese driver has a lot of work to do here. He's already gone past Carl Swift there, who has made it out, I'm pleased to see. The Class B championship leader coming into this weekend. It's important that he gets out there and picks up some points from this second race of the weekend. Hopefully everyone makes it through the first corner safely this time. It wasn't the case first time around, and it looks like that they do. And who is in the lead of the race then? Well, it's still very much up for grabs, and we have had a spinner a bit further back down the order. Just trying to see who that is. Going to be joined right at the back of the field though, and it is the number 4 car of Stu Neal, isn't it, I think, that has rotated. Confirmation of that. Oh my word, that's a frightening moment for him as he's got that pack of Civics heading straight towards him. Luckily for him, not too much damage done apart from to his pride. So, first lap, always frenetic in a Tegiwa Civic Cup race with this reverse grid format. Adam Shepherd, our race 1 winner, started back on the outside of row 5, so lots of work to do, but he's already making up ground. It looks like it's Endaf Owens that has somehow made it into the lead of the race already within half a lap. It's a brilliant start to the race for Endaf, and it's Rob Howard. I think it's Rob who's being run by Endaf this weekend, the 2 of them having come from mini racing. He's in second. There's Andrew Huff, I can see, in the pistachio coloured car. One of the older machines on the grid, one of the 1.6 litre Class A cars, as it's Owens then that leads. Now he started from 9th and Shepherd started from 10th, but Owens has cut a much more effective path through the traffic. It looks like Andrew Gorgler now is second, Rob Howard number 53 on his championship debut meeting in 3rd position. Swift there, sorry not Swift, I beg your pardon, Shepherd there in 6th. We'll see what Carl Swift can do, but he has damage to his car. The team might have had a chance to establish if the setup is all correct before the race gets underway. Ooh, a little bit of contact there between Mark Higginson and Adam Shepherd, and there's no love lost between those two. And that gives Ollie Withington the chance to get through as well as Higginson tries to recover. Second lap of the race then. Over the line they go. There's Withington, then he's got Higginson just behind him in number 44. And there's Tim Evans, number 23, leading the class from Chris Coomer in second place. Oh, and a big moment there. That's Rob Howard, I think, that's gone out very wide at Montreal Hairpin. And that will cost him a few positions, I shouldn't wonder. Meanwhile, Evans also gets Montreal wrong, and that's going to give Chris Coomer the chance of a bite at the Class A lead. The two FN2 side by side there, Withington and Higginson, and it's Higginson, the more experienced driver, that goes back through. Still only Ollie Withington's third race meeting. And the second of those, he ended up in hospital, so he's hoping for a more auspicious weekend at Snetterton. I think it's the number 2 car, Steve Laidlaw, that's next through, and then Evans, and then Coomer. On board with number 89, which is Roger Novella. Worth mentioning that we've got a couple of the Nissan GT Academy drivers out racing this weekend, ironically in a Honda Civic or 2. Jose Gerard Policarpio, who won the Asian GT Academy and the International GT Academy winner Matthew Simmons, both out in the championship this weekend. And cars run by SW Motorsport, Sean Wood's team. And the first race of the weekend finished further down the order, Simmons 17th and Policarpio 20th. But it's all about getting licence signatures for them as we go on board with Adam Shepherd. He's past Gorgler now, so that's another place that's made up. Adam Shepherd now has to chase Endaf Owens, but as you can see, it's already quite a big gap that Endaf has over the rest of the field. In the first race, Endaf did a lap of 2 minutes 16, Shepherd a 2:15.98, so only 2 100ths between them. Shepherd slightly quicker, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to bridge that gap to Endaf Owens that has already opened up in what is a relatively short race. Only 7 laps they'll get in around this Snetterton 300 circuit, the lap taking well over 2 minutes, as we've said. So Gorgler there with the car snapping at his heels of Sam Hathaway. Now that's Simmons, I think, isn't it? Just trying to pass Coomer. So Matthew Simmons, the GT Academy racer. We see this every year with these drivers coming into club racing to gain some experience and some licence signatures. The ultimate aim of doing some 24-hour racing. And there's the orange car of Roger Novella, patched up after some quite heavy damage that it received in race 1 of the weekend. Cars fanning out further back down the order. Amongst them is Matthew Simmons. Chris Coomer in there as well in the second of the Class A cars. It looks like David Buki is third within that class, Matthew Bolton fourth, Andrew Huff in 5th place. Withington and Laidlaw doing battle here. Withington going well, his best performance so far. So there's Sam Hathaway from Andrew Gorgler and Mark Higginson. Hathaway in 3rd place in this race then, heading for his first podium finish, but we thought he might do that early on. There's Martin Hathaway, number 28, father of Sam, also joining the Civic Cup for 2015. Now Higginson here, who was in 5th place in the championship coming into this weekend. 3 podium finishes under his belt, trying to get alongside and past number 14 Andrew Gorgler. He's been racing in the Civic Cup for the past couple of seasons, not done all of the races this year, and certainly this one of his stronger performances. So down this straight towards the left-handed hairpin at Agostini, named for the motorcycle racing great, of course. And the next left-hander is Hamilton, this sort of left-hand kink. It is important to get it right though, and often you do see drivers get it wrong. It can prove costly, but looks like Gorgler and Higginson both through there okay, but Gorgler not through. The next right-hander at Oggie's okay, and he's basically just waved Higginson through with that mistake there. Just still settling behind him, and there's Laidlaw going through as well. So 4th, 5th and 6th, they've changed order then. Still Owens leading, Shepherd 2nd, and Sam Hathaway in 3rd place. Now Higginson took the place from Hathaway, took the final podium place from Hathaway on the last lap of the opening race. Can he close in on him and nip that position at the end as he did in race 1, I wonder. I'm sure he'll be very keen to get back onto the podium once again. Driver from Lancashire. Many of the drivers in this Civic Cup based in the northwest, but Adam Shepherd there in 2nd place is not one of them. The Essex driver, son of Craig Shepherd, who was a 750 Motor Club champion in the past in Tin Top Racing. Gorgler here trying to keep his 5th position from Steve Laidlaw now. Over the line they go. Last lap board has gone out. There's also a driving standards flag going out to number 39. Now that is, that's Ollie Withington, isn't it? The drive from Denston. There you Toxeter. So that's a warning for exceeding track limits. Do that too often and a time penalty will be incurred. Don't think Ollie's in danger of picking up one of those just yet. So it looks like Gorgler has sealed 5th position here. Higginson, I'm not sure he's going to catch Sam Hathaway, is he? Now, let's go back to Class A. There's Tim Evans and David Bucke. Now, at the moment, they're disputing 2nd place within the class because Chris Coomer, you can see him there, is a bit further up the road. He's ahead, actually, of Ollie Withington now. And so too ahead of Chris Coomer is Matthew Simmons. Coomer again has got the fastest lap within Class A, 2:19.42 this time. And in Class B, it's Adam Shepherd again, gets the best lap of 2:15.91, a bit faster than he went in race 1. Withington's got something hanging off his car, a bit of wheel trim, by the looks of it, a wheel arch trim, I should say. Just hanging off there. So Chris Coomer, though, importantly, is one in the lead of Class A. Rodden Vella, meanwhile, is on a real determined last lap effort. He was past Carl Swan, number 99, the ex-Dot Catch racer, who started on pole position. So Vella, who started right at the back of the grid, is up inside the top 10 now. He's just behind here. Carl Swan is also just behind Withington as well, but up towards the line to take another win in the Civic Cup is Endaf Owens. He takes the checkered flag for what is his 2nd victory of the season in the Tegiwa Civic Cup, and also it's his 8th podium finish. 2nd place goes the way of Adam Shepherd, a distance back in the end. 3rd place has gone to Sam Hathaway, his best result yet in the Civic Cup. And here's Chris Coomer, number 55, out of the chicane, or out of Lewis for the final time. And he's going to take a very creditable 8th position overall, just behind Matthew Simmons. But look at this, it's side by side further back. And it's just going to be Rodden Vella that's passed those 2 cars in the final half a lap to get up into 9th place. Results time then, Chris Coomer it was that took a relatively comfortable win as far as Class A was concerned from Evans, Bucke and Huff. Class A certainly will be resolved at Donington Park as a result of this weekend's results. In Class B, Endaf Owens, his victory margin was 8 seconds exactly over Adam Shepherd, with Sam Hathaway 3rd, Higginson 4th and Gorgler in 5th position. What does all this mean for the championship? Well, it's David Bucke who still has a narrow lead over Evans and Huff. And in Class B, Adam Shepherd from Endaf Owens and Carl Swift. There's only 9 points that separate the 3 of them, and it's going to be a thrilling final weekend of the season at Donington Park.
Winner of our 2nd Civic race, Endaf Owens. It was really about the first lap.
Yeah, luckily we had a good start off the line. I think I was leading by the third corner. One of the drivers I look after in the mini is Rob Howard. That was his first weekend racing, and he said if I give him number one driver spot in the team, he let me pass. So he let me pass, and then luckily I had a bit of a break. And when Adam got up to second, we probably had a few seconds on him. So just try to keep my head down and happy days.
Adam, reverse grid, you had to work your way through the field.
Yeah, it was alright. We Endaf got a brilliant start and disappeared in the distance. I got caught up with a bit of there's a coming together over the first hairpin, and it took me a while to get through. And made it into second and tried to chase down Endaf. Coming down the back straight, the engine just felt flat, so I glanced across and the oil temps were through the roof. And it started smelling a funny smell, so I thought, what do I do? I couldn't risk having a DNF, so I had to unfortunately back out of it, but a bit of a shame.
Sam, good result for you?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's first podium of the year, so it feels like all the hard work's paid off.
You come from minis, is that right?
Yeah, we come from Mighty Minis last year, which I finished third in the championship, so it was a bit of a shock, well, a bit of a change to come into this, shall I say, to not being on the podium most weekends. But it feels like, we've had a lot of testing throughout the year, and it feels like it's all come together this weekend.
Chris, how did that go for you?
Yeah, it was really good. I struggled to get past Tim at the beginning. He knows quite a few tricks up his sleeve to keep in front, but I had a little bit more pace, I think. Eventually got past him, pulled a bit of a gap, and then they got caught up with a few of the other class cars. The group caught me up. I thought it was going to go wrong, but I cleared them and then got away, and my first win in that class.
Tim, you won the earlier, second this time.
Couldn't quite do it this time. Couldn't hold Chris back. He was quick. I mean, every credit to him. I tried my best, but he got past me, I think, on the braking into the hairpin, and then pulled about 5 car lengths, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, I'm all right. Good points today, first and second. So championship-wise, we're looking pretty healthy, really.
Enjoyable weekend?
Brilliant. Today was two really good races. Really close racing. No touching, no damage. So you can go home, and it's a good day's done.
Good battle at that?
Yeah, it was good. The first race didn't go to plan because I went straight on with brake failure. My pads disintegrated in the calipers, so that wasn't brilliant. Managed to finish fourth in front of, I think it was Matty Bolton or Huff, I can't quite remember. But going into that race, obviously started fourth, got a really good start, got into first position. I don't know what corner it's called, but by the second bend, and then unfortunately a few of the other class cars got a bit of a tangle. I got a bit entwined in it and had to go around the outside, and that put me back. I had to then defend because Matty Bolton was right on my tail, and then going up the back straight I saw that he went straight on, so I knew I was okay. And then obviously tracking down Tim, who's really quick this weekend. I think he's had a first and a second, so that's good for him. But I got alongside him on the second to last lap, but me thinking it was the final lap, I let off over the line thinking the job was done, and obviously it wasn't. So, and then obviously Andy Huff was right on my tail, so yeah, it was challenging but really fun. That's what I come for, a good race at the end of the day.
Well, the championship is brilliantly poised going into the final weekend at Donington Park. I do hope you'll join us then. For now, from Snetterton, it's goodbye.